Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the McGill24 Comedy Special. We have an exciting evening planned for you, and you can see over 100 participants have joined us to partake in the festivities. My name is Abdul Mazar Shafi. I'm a McGill electrical engineering grad. I work in technology consulting and also in the education nonprofit space a little bit, but I'm here today as the president of the McGill Young Alumni Board. Our board works to connect, support, and engage McGill students and graduates of the last decade with events like this. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, Erin, who's going to introduce herself as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Yong Ping, and I'm the past president of the MYA. I graduated from McGill in 2012 with a Master of Science, and I'm currently doing my PhD in clinical psychology. And I'm super excited to be here with you all, and especially here with you, Abdal.
Thank you, Erin. You can see we're all rocking as much McGill swag as we have. So even though your cameras aren't on, we recommend that you do the same. Feel free to share any of your images and the ongoings and your thoughts on the comedy show throughout social media. Today really is a fun event. It's a virtual comedy show that's hosted by Sofa Laughs and featuring award-winning speakers and talented comedians, including, first of all, Jose Perinian. He's also going to be joined by two fellow McGill graduates, Noor Hadidi and Cassie Cow, both of whom are rising stars within the Canadian comedy scene. So Erin's going to talk to you a little bit about, I'm sure, what you've heard and seen throughout this day for the past couple of weeks, what McGill24 is.
Thanks, Abdal. So McGill24, it happens today, every year on March 10th. It is our university's one-day digital fundraising campaign, Notre Journée Annuelle de Dons de l'Université. I haven't practiced my French for a while, so that's awesome. Today, we invite all members of the McGill community to make a gift to areas and initiatives across the university that resonates most with them. Last year on McGill24, McGillians raised $2.9 million on the strength of more than 5,000 donors. It was the largest fundraiser of its kind in Canadian university history. All day, McGill24 will feature a variety of participation challenges, meaning that each dollar raised will count for more. This is a cause that I hold near and dear to my heart because it's something that I've been involved with for, I'd say, the last 5 years. So I invite you all to please visit McGill24.ca for the real-time results of where the campaign stands and, of course, to make your gift. And maybe I'll share a little update on where we are right now, Abdal, if that's cool. As of right now, we've raised over $3,500,000, which is incredible, with over 5,500 donations. So way to go, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
Thank you, Erin. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So again, please go to the website, look at the live tracker, feel free to donate, make a gift as well. So now before we get into the actual comedy show itself, quick housekeeping items. Please note firstly that the event is being recorded. It's going to be made available on the McGill Alumni Virtual Event page in the days following. So if you want to catch up on some jokes or really like certain segments, you'll be able to forward it to people. Also, quick request for those of you who don't have your name listed right now within the Zoom account, please feel free to change it to your actual name. This way we get a chance to see who's attended and hopefully stay in touch as well. So that's it for housekeeping. That's it for the intro. Let's get into the comedy. Our first comedian today is Cassie Cow. She's a stand-up comedian, actor, and recipient of the Canadian Comedy Award. She was featured as one of the new faces at the 2019 Just for Laughs Festival and works as the Second City at the Second City as a teacher and actor. I'm going to pass it over now, and you're going to see our first comedian live in action, Cassie Cow.
Hello, McGill alumni. How are you? My name is Cassie Cow. I'm also an alumni from McGill, an alumnus from McGill. Yeah, okay, I'm just one. How's everyone's pandemic going? Mine's going okay. I'm trying to keep positive by looking on the bright side of the pandemic. I try to keep in mind all the things that are working out well for me this pandemic. For example, masks. I'm in love with masks. I hope that we keep wearing them even after everyone gets vaccinated. It's working out great for me. Now that I've been wearing masks, I can't tell you how much easier my life has been. I've stopped having to smile all the time. I used to be really jealous of other women who would tell me that they had resting bitch face. Have you heard of resting bitch face? I unfortunately don't have resting bitch face. I wish I did. I feel like people would talk to me less on the public bus, but I don't. I suffer from a condition that's a little bit less well known, but I think even more serious than resting bitch face. I suffer from a condition called resting, I would love to do your emotional labor face. Can you see it? Doesn't my face just kind of scream like, oh my God, Kyle, that's such a good story. Like, please tell me more. Right? You can see it. I don't know how to undo this. I also, before the pandemic, used to have this problem where when I was walking down a sidewalk, if a man was coming towards me, he would never move and I would always have to like duck around him to get around. It was very infuriating, I think because I don't look intimidating enough. But now I've figured out this new trick. If I see a man coming at me on the sidewalk, I just take my mask off and I cough twice. And they just scatter. They cross the street. It's wonderful. You remember how when you were young and you just discovered automatic doors for the first time and you were just like, bah, and then they would just open? I do that with men now. It's great. They just part like the Red Sea and I feel so powerful. So that's been my pandemic. It's been going okay. It's such an honor to be doing this stand-up set for McGill alumni around the world. I really cherish my time at McGill. It was the first time that I was away from home, and the friends that I made at McGill are honestly sometimes even closer than my family. Personally, I didn't grow up in a very affectionate family. We're Chinese immigrants, and I'm a girl, so I'm just happy to be here. You know, sometimes it's nice to be wanted. No, I wasn't raised in a very affectionate family. Growing up, I've never seen my parents kiss each other. I've never even really seen them hold hands. Like I would say for the first 10 years of my life, I thought they were very sad roommates. I don't know, they were always fighting about the economy, and I just thought, yeah, I've seen the rental market, like you can't afford to move out, you know? I didn't have the most affectionate parents, but I did have very good parents. I do think that they did a really good job raising me. They taught me all the big life lessons. Like I remember when my friends, their parents were telling them to not do drugs, the only thing that my mom ever told me was that drugs are like babies, right? The white ones are more expensive. Yeah, she was saying if they offer them to you, like go for a resale value. That's a true tiger mom lesson. I love my mom very much. I feel like I spent my entire life trying to impress her. She's a very difficult lady to impress. Even when I was very young, I remember when I was 5 years old, I would go up to my mom and I would say, Mom, if we didn't know each other and we just ran into each other on the street, do you think that we would be friends? I know, I was a cute 5-year-old. And my mom said, why would I be friends with a 5-year-old? So that gave me a lot to think about. Even now as an adult, I try to impress her sometimes. When I lived in Montreal, when I was at McGill, my MP was Marc Garneau, and I was always so excited to vote for him. And I would tell my mom, like, oh, did you know that my MP used to be an astronaut? Isn't that exciting? And my mom would say, I don't understand why we're all so obsessed with astronauts. All they do is sit. Which, how do you argue with that, you know? But I didn't want to disappoint her. I wanted to keep agreeing with her, and when I told her this, that's when I thought, yeah, you're right, sitting, who wants to do that, right? And that's when I told my mom that now all I do is stand up for a living. She didn't She didn't think it was funny. I like to joke about my parents, but I do love my parents very much. I think they were very fine parents. However, when my contract comes up, I will be upgrading to white parents. Look, it's no offense for my parents. I think they did a really good job. I just mean, given the opportunity, I would upgrade to a newer model, you know? I feel like sometimes white people don't appreciate their parents, but white parents honestly come with some really cool features that are not available in the other colors of parents. Like, for example, I don't know if you've thought about this, but white parents believe in therapy. That is a white-only privilege. My parents do not believe in therapy. They're well-educated, they know what's going on, but they think that therapy is like a financial scam. Yeah, they think it's like a Ponzi scheme. They think it's like tipping. So they're not gonna fall for it. I feel like growing up in Canada, a lot of people assume that I must have faced some big racism, and I think about this a lot. I think about it even all the way back to my grade school days, and honestly, I can't really think of anything, which is a huge bummer because I love being a victim. But no, I can't really think of anything, and I think that just speaks to what a great country we live in, that the only times I've ever been bullied were solely for my personality. And that's the kind of equality that we're all fighting for. It does hurt my feelings, but I'll take one for the team. My parents are pretty excited recently. I've been dating a white boy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I am out here fulfilling the immigrant dream. I know some of you might not be impressed because honestly, white guys are fast going out of style in North America, but let me reassure you that in Asia, they are still a luxury item. Yeah, I think that having a white guy on your arm is honestly the same as having like a really nice Louis Vuitton. I mean, I get it, it's never worth what you paid for it, but still, you can take it with you, you can show it off to people. Oh, you can make eye contact with old Chinese people from across the street, and you can just be like, yeah, I've been to Europe. You know, I'm cultured. Like, he teaches me about recycling. It's great. We met on the internet, as you do these days. When I started online dating, I took it very seriously. I did all of my homework. I tried all of the services. I didn't want to be missing a direction to swipe. So I tried all the big ones. I did OkCupid, I did Tinder, I did Bumble. I tried all of them, but my favorite one by far is this one called Uber. Have you heard of it? It's really good. Ladies, get on it. All the men on there have cars. It's excellent. I will just say though, please do not get it confused with Uber Eats, okay? Because that is a different app and those guys ride bikes. A lot of those guys are comedians, so no. I really liked my time online dating. I think that online dating has made me so much smarter. I've learned a lot of new things from online dating. I've learned some new words. Like, for example, did you know that the word entrepreneur is a French word that means unemployed? It's true, yeah. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for your time. I've been Cassie Cow. If you're interested in finding out more about my work, you can check me out at cassiecow.com. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at the Cassie Cow.
All right, wow. Thank you, Cassie. Cassie Cow, please follow her. It was an excellent set. The entrepreneur joke definitely hit close to home. My sister says that to me all the time. Trying to be an entrepreneur myself, so well done. All right, keep with the momentum. We have now upcoming our second comedian. This is Jose Perenian. He is a TEDx speaker and comedian who talks about inclusion, inclusion and resilience have been seen by millions online. He was named Inspirational Speaker of the Year in 2017, and his stand-up comedy has been featured on CBC. I'm going to pass it over so we can see Jose Perinian in action.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jose Perinian. Just so you know, I have a stutter. Your internet connection is fine. I am hoping that you like suspense, because tonight you are all stranded on Stutter Island. In fact, if you had any plans in the next 48 hours, cancel them. Actually, who am I kidding? No one has plans in the next 48 days. Unless you live in New Zealand. If you do, please write NZ in the chat and everyone will instantly despise you. I should also mention I am using a breathing technique to control my stutter. This technique makes it sound like I'm having trouble breathing, which is just great timing right now. Before the pandemic, some people would assume I speak this way because I had just gone running all the way to Dr. Penfield, or who here remembers the walk to the McGill gym? Going to the McGill gym for a workout was the workout. They didn't even need to have an actual gym inside. They could have just put a poster on the front door outside that read, "Good job today. See you again tomorrow." I do miss going to actual gyms, actual places. The lockdown, however, has gotten me to think a lot more. I was thinking about how having a stutter will affect me when I become a dad. Say my daughter asks me to read her a bedtime story, and I'm like, once upon a time to wake up, sweetie. Don't get me wrong, folks. There are certain advantages to having a stutter. For instance, it prevents me from having to face rejection. And here's how. This one time I was asking a woman out on a date. I said, "Hey, we should go for a..." And as I was getting stuck on the word, I could see it in her eyes that the answer was going to be no. So I said, hey, we should go for a democratic system in Cuba. Those Cubans have suffered enough. It is pretty cool, I have to say, to be performing for my fellow McGillians all over the world. I do sometimes miss living in Montreal. If you miss living in Montreal, please write MTL in the chat. Who knows, maybe you'll meet someone in the chat and both of you will move back. I will say though, I do not miss Montreal winters. Before my first ever Montreal winter, I didn't even have a stutter. I've just internalized all of that shivering. One of the charming things I think about when I think Montreal is the charming bilingualism. I am happy though that I never worked retail in Montreal. Can you imagine you walking into a store when those things existed and I have to greet you with not one but two languages, like bonjour, hi, we just closed. Speaking of bilingualism, I actually speak 6 different languages. And yes, I stutter in all 6 of them. I stutter in English. Je bégaye en français. Tartamudeo en espagnol. بدأت بالعربي. Tenho uma gagueira em português. Gamatsko Chosim Hayerenov. I get to test people's patience internationally. If we have anyone who works at the United Nations on the call, and it wouldn't surprise me if we do, it is a McGill event after all, you should hire me to do those translations in real time. There would be world peace. Imagine negotiations between countries at war with the leaders on each side having to wait for me to finish translating. Like, let's stop this war. There is actually one occupation besides translation that I think I missed out on. Do we have any law grads or lawyers? I think I should have been a lawyer. can you imagine how much I would make charging by the hour? Thank you for watching my performance, and a big shout out to my fellow BCom grads. I would love to connect with everyone. Feel free to do so on Instagram at YesWayJose, my website www.joseperanian.com, and on LinkedIn as well. I thank you all. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jose. I had so many good laughs on Stutter Island. That was incredible. And me too. I definitely don't miss those Montreal winters. And I think that's one of the reasons I moved to Winnipeg. So now I'm going to introduce our third comedian, Noor Hadidi. Noor Hadidi is a stand-up comedian and writer who has performed at Just for Laughs and is regularly featured on CBC's The Debaters. She was a staff writer at This Hour Has 22 Minutes and has written for the Beaverton and CBC Comedy. So take it away, Noor. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in from wherever you are in the world. I'm in Toronto. I'm excited to be part of McGill24. Congrats to McGill on turning 24 years old. This is very exciting, very happy. You're going to be a quarter of a century soon. You're going to hit that quarter life crisis, so be prepared. No, I'm joking. I graduated from McGill in 2010. I have a bachelor's of commerce. I majored in finance, but my family's all doctors, so I also minored in disappointment, also known as marketing. Yeah, that was my official minor. I do miss my time at McGill. I look back at it very fondly, even though at the time I was probably stressing out and trying to get my grades up before I graduated. The last time I was there, I performed at the new MBA building's opening. I don't know if you know this, but they converted the bookstore into an MBA building, which I was very conflicted about because they paid me to perform, so that was good. But I was sad about saying bye to the bookstore. It's just a rite of passage, you know? If you had nowhere to go on campus, you had some time to kill, you went into the bookstore, you cried in between the keychains, you know? You paid $240 for a used book and you left. So I feel like that's such a quintessential part of the McGill experience, and I'm sad some people aren't gonna experience that. So rest in peace, bookstore. When I was there, I spent my first year at New Res, which was a hotel that they converted into a residence, but it was just the worst parts of a hotel. Like, everyone was loud all the time. The elevators were full. It was, man, I don't even know how, you know, when you look back, it's like, I don't even know how I survived that. Yeah, that was, but I really do miss it. I miss Montreal. I sometimes wonder if I'll ever live there again. So it's definitely on my mind. So yeah, guys, I'll get into my set. I don't know what kind of day you're having. I found out that I might be allergic to hummus. Yeah, not a good day. Not a good day because I'm Arab and you've also graciously accepted my culture of hummus, you know, but I feel like in return, I've accepted your culture of having food allergies. Okay, so this is going both ways today. I am losing it in this lockdown. I don't know how much more of it I can take. I don't remember a life before this, you know? I feel like BC stands for before Corona now. Yeah, AD, after distancing. That's what it is. I think that if COVID-19 was a person, it would for sure be a man. All right. No woman would feel safe traveling this far on her own. That virus has the confidence of a man. Let me tell you. Yeah. You know what bothers me though the most is the people who dangle the mask from their ear. You know, these people, you're talking or you see them and it's like, I'm just focused on you. It's like, put it on or take it off. Okay. You're not a surgeon. Make a decision. Make up your mind, sir. Okay. So that's what's bothering me. Yeah, you know, this pandemic, it's tough. I hope you're all surviving, you know, can't wait for that vaccine. Apparently the Moderna, the guy who created Moderna is a McGill alum. So if you're watching, kind sir, please send me one. I'm not even kidding. You think this is a joke. It is not, okay? We'll give you whatever. I'll do a private show. I'll give you this plant that I put here because I didn't want the video to be bare. You think this plant was here? No, this plant was somewhere else in the house. But we put it here for decoration, okay? All right. Guys, I can't watch the news anymore, you know? Stock market's down. Who isn't, okay? We're all depressed. You don't see me complaining to CNN every 5 minutes, all right? Pull it together. Pull it together. That's why I'm a bond girl, okay? Stocks up and down, not bonds. Probably, okay, never mind. All right, guys, that was, I hope that was, shout out to all the finance grads. If you guys are watching, that was especially for you. Because finance grads, you know, are like business grads. We went to, we studied at the Des Hotel building, but it was previously called the Bronfman building. Very confusing, you know? And also people made fun of us. Okay, let me just say this. Whenever I would go take classes in Leacock, I'd be like, oh, are you a finance? Why don't you go back to Bronfman? It's like, you think I want to be in your old building that has no lighting? You wish you were at Bronfman, okay? With the lights and the nice projectors and the nice classrooms with the reclining chairs, you know? Not the stiff science chairs, okay? You're the scientists. Why don't you have the nice chairs, okay? And the dim lights. It's probably why I wear glasses, because I took one class in Leacock, okay? Macroeconomics. I don't forget. All right? Yeah, I have a vendetta against all the art students. Except the ones who majored in economics, because I feel like a kinship to you guys. You know, we're kind of the same family. So if you are an econ grad in the arts, I do apologize for that rant. I did not want to include you in it. Okay. Can you guys see that I'm losing it in this lockdown? Can you see it? Okay. Great. We're just going to continue on here. Yeah, listen, I will tell you before this pandemic, I grew up in the Middle East. It was very boring living in Canada, you know? Like, you guys create wars that don't even exist, like cupcake wars and storage wars, you know? Just for fun, the craziest things is every few years there was an E. coli outbreak and you could die from lettuce, all right? What a loser way to go. All right. If I ever die from romaine, please tell people differently. Okay. I don't want to be the girl that died eating a Caesar salad. That's not how I'm going out. Just saying. I wish they taught you things at McGill that helped you in real life more. You know, like interviewing. Why are we taking classes like Intro to Organizational Behavior? Okay. How about you go interviewing 101? All right. That's a class that would have benefited all of us. You know, they ask you questions you can't answer. They'll be like, hey, no, like right out of school, you're 22, you don't know, you're already nervous, you're sweating. They ask you questions like, hey, Noor, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know what? I'm actually looking to get out of the fortune telling business, okay? That's where I'm at in my life. Yeah. Or, what's your greatest weakness? We've all gotten that, right? You know what my greatest weakness is? Knowing you were going to ask me that and still not knowing how to reply. Okay? Yeah, has anyone ever been honest and been like, keep your eye on the office supplies? Okay, I like to steal things. Yeah. Or this happened one time. I was in an interview and the guy looked at my resume and he said, oh, Noor, that's such a pretty name. I said, thank you so much. It's Arab. And then he said, oh, you don't sound Arab. Yeah. And I was like, that's okay, because you don't look racist, you know? It's fine. Yeah, things aren't always what they seem, you know? I miss traveling for comedy. You know, there's no interview. You just show up. You're booked and that's it. One of my trips before the pandemic was to Dubai. I learned a new word there. I don't know if anyone here is watching from Dubai, but I learned the word expat. Yeah, which was very interesting to me, because anywhere in the world, if you move somewhere, you're an immigrant. But when white people do it, they're expats. Yeah. Saying I'm not an immigrant, I'm an expat is sort of like saying I'm not single, I'm an ex-girlfriend. Like, the math, it doesn't add up, right? But there are like some advantages to doing shows online, because one time I did a show before the pandemic and a guy came up to me after and he said, excuse me, you were great, but you just weren't as interactive as some of the other comedians. Yeah. So I punched him and that did the trick. Yeah, I am an immigrant to Canada. So I grew up in the Middle East. I moved to study here at McGill. So I was in Montreal. I studied for 4 years. I worked at a bank for another 4. And then I moved to Toronto about 5 years ago. And I became a citizen of Canada. It was a very moving day. I had to take an oath to the Queen. But before that, I had to take a citizenship test. I don't know if any of you have taken the test, but I just find that they ask you questions, they make you study for it, but like about Quebec and all these other things, but like they should ask you questions that help with life in Canada, you know? Like, what's a double-double? Who is Ron McLean? Right? Did you know there was a London, Ontario? That would have helped. All right. And this should be the final question. Have you ever traveled on Air Canada? And if the answer is yes, automatic citizenship. Okay? Automatic. If you've been abused by that airline, you deserve to be Canadian. Yeah. I think Air Canada is worse than ISIS. Yeah, because at least they take responsibility. Okay? Yeah. I don't know if any McGill grads are watching who work at Air Canada. I'm sorry. All right? It is what it is. All right, guys, that was my time. This was nice to be able to connect with everyone. I hope you laughed. If you want to follow me, I'm at Noor Hadidi. I very much feel grateful that I was able to study at McGill, and that was part of my life experience. So, yeah, this was fun. Bye.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you, Nora. I loved all the McGill stories that were embedded within, especially the bookstore one. So for those of you who are excited, there's obviously a new location for the bookstore on Sherbrooke. So make sure you go check that out, AD, after distancing. So next up, in terms of our final comedian who's actually back by popular demand, we're going to have a final short segment by the amazing Jose. So please give it up for Jose.
Hello again, everyone. Why is there a guitar here, you are asking? Well, when I sing, I don't stutter at all. So I thought the outro of this Sofa Laughs experience would be through a song. And I know some of you are thinking, wait a minute. Instead of speaking, Jose, why don't you always sing? Because I don't want to look deranged. Can you imagine when I would be doing a presentation at Bronfman? I should mention, in my second year, I asked all of my professors to exempt me from all of my presentations because of the stuttering. So say I'm in my fourth year and I am presenting and I get stuck on a word, and then I'm like, the company's market share kept on rising, and it was most likely due to the marketing strategy that wouldn't work. I'd like to say thank you everyone for tuning in. A quick word about Sofa Laughs. Sofa Laughs is typically a 60-minute long live virtual comedy experience that has featured comedians as seen on Netflix, Conan, Ellen, Colbert, Just for Laughs, the CBC, and I'll include the information here if you wish to reach out to explore having a show like that for the organization where you are at. Feel free to reach out. Thank you, and I wish everyone an amazing day. Bye.
Abdel?
It's actually you, Aaron, to close us out.
Okay. Well, first, I want to say thank you for those closing remarks. Had a lot of good laughs tonight, and I think it was very much needed on my behalf, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. So I want to give a quick update. We have some live updates with respect to the money raised for McGill24. We have raised, at this moment, $3,572,000 with almost 6,000 donations made. So yeah, raise the roof, everyone. This is incredible. I encourage you all to visit McGill24.ca for real-time results throughout the rest of the evening. So an extended thanks to all three comedians tonight. I encourage everyone to check out their respective social media platforms, their websites, their Instagram pages. I will definitely be doing the same. Right after this event, again, visit McGill24 to see the campaign's real-time progress. Please consider, please making your own gift of any dollar amount at any cause that holds a special meaning for you. So that's really nice that you can kind of customize where you want your money to go. Thank you everyone for all of your participation tonight. Please keep in touch. Please check out the MYA. We are also on social media, our Facebook. Please check us out. And everyone, please continue to keep safe.
Thank you. Also, big thank you to the McGill team, Kay, Raula, Jonathan, Dahlia, Stuart, everyone else. They've been working way over time to make this and many other events happen. So big shout out to them. And thank you all for joining us. See you at the next Young Alumni Board event and McGill24 next year. Bye-bye.